qu'il signifie. Si c'est d'amour ou de regret, ou bien pour me donner mon congé. Tous les oiseaux qui sont dans le ciel ne sont pas de la même mer, ne sont pas tous pour un seul chasseur et mamie pour un seul serviteur. Mamie me fit un bouquet, tu ne sais ce qu'il signifie. Si c'est d'amour ou de regret, ou bien pour me donner mon congé. Mamie me fit un bouquet, tu ne sais ce qu'il
Bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue à l'Université Carleton. Welcome to Carleton University. What a great group. You all came in without being ushered in. You're enthusiastic and happy, and I am really happy to see you today. I'm the president of Carleton University, and I want to talk to you about innovation, but I'm going to talk to you first about architecture and history. Architecture. You are in a building that is perfect for housing this conference. It is an innovative building. First of all, we reached out to nature, moved the road under the building, showing that we could do anything, that people can change roads in order to make them get closer to nature. But we also put a statue out in the downstairs hall. It's a sculpture of a tree that was 200 years old in Old Ottawa South. You probably read about it in the newspaper. It was falling down, and people were very upset that they were losing this landmark. And an artist came to me and said, what if I turned that tree into a sculpture? And I thought that was a terrific idea. But I immediately knew that people in Old Ottawa South would then transfer their anger from the city that was cutting down the tree to the university that was going to have the tree, right? So I said to the students, we'll make this a learning exercise. You must go out in the community, door to door, and sell the idea. So they did. They went everywhere. They decided they really wanted a sculpture too. And they went out in the community, and the entire community unanimously asked City Council to give us the dead tree, which has become a beautiful sculpture. And if you look at the sculpture, it is upside down. It is standing on the branches. And innovation is about seeing things in a different way. It's about seeing a dead tree and turning it into a beautiful sculpture. It's about standing on your head and having new ideas. So you're in the right place. Then there's the question of history. And innovation is really important. If you look back through history, look at American history. Every time they were in a depression, it was ideas that got them out of the depression. Even most recently, the United States had a big economic depression, and I think that it was Apple and Google that got the U.S. out of the depths of the Depression where they were a few years ago. And now every nation in the world recognizes the importance of ideas, and everybody is searching for them. It's funny that it took them so long. Back in the 18th century, Louis XIV, when he was king, said, you know, I've got to change the city of Paris. We're in an economic depression. I've got to change this whole country. What can I do? City was dark. There was no such thing as streetlights. And he said, we're going to light the night. We're going to put streetlights on every street in the city of Paris. Well, it took a lot of technicians to figure out how to make streetlights and how to make the oil lamps burn at night and get them up there. But he illuminated the whole city of Paris. People came from all over Europe to see the city of light. It took technology, it took a great idea, and it took a lot of hard work. He did another thing. He said, you know, if we were going to have light, we should really reflect it. We need mirrors. We need great big mirrors. And at the time, there was no technology to do big mirrors. So he managed to get the only mirrors produced in Europe at the time were in Venice. And he managed to get a few of the guild members that were producing the mirrors in Venice to come to Paris under some duress, I understand. I think he kidnapped them. And had them build the biggest, create the biggest mirrors in the world. And as time went on, Paris was, and France, was the place that you went to buy good mirrors, and it still is. Mirrors are created in France. France is known as the city of style, the city of illumination. The economy of that country has subsisted for 2 centuries on the ideas of an innovative king, on the ideas that were put to work through scientists and technologists, and a lot of hard work by the people. So today, when we get to the idea of innovation, we think about spaces. And, you know, I said this was a great building for innovation, and if you go to California and you go to labs like IDEO Lab, you see them hanging bicycles from the roof and from the ceiling, and, you know, putting funny paintings on the wall, trying to get people to think different ideas. But the biggest thing that they do is take down the walls so that there aren't individual offices. People all kind of move back and forth because they believe in the free exchange of ideas. That's what we do at the university. Started off, we didn't have very many walls. We needed a few more. But people exchange ideas, and it's not the walls, the physical walls, but the mental walls that need to come down. When the tree is turned upside down, it's a symbol of what actually happens inside universities. People learn to think differently. They learn to bring ideas from one discipline to another. They learn to look beyond their local boundaries around the world to see how other people think. And it's taking down those boundaries that will create the opportunity for true innovation. The sticky notes, the walls, the bicycles from the ceiling, all of that is symbolic of what needs to happen in people's minds. And at Carleton University, we've been doing this for quite a long time. It was not fashionable 20 years ago to say you were interdisciplinary, but Carleton has been interdisciplinary for at least that long. And I am really, really proud to say this is a university whose day has come. The faculty, whether they're doing neuroscience, whether they're doing biotechnology, medical technology, whatever field they're doing, if they're doing socially responsible investment, if they're working in science policy and science, whether they're working in architecture and sustainable engineering, whatever they're doing has an interdisciplinary thrust to it. And I truly believe that it's that thrust that creates the context for the future leaders, and they will be Carleton grads. So welcome to Carleton University, and thank you for holding this event here. Now, when I said the event took great ideas, not the event, but innovation takes great ideas, we have to thank the Manning Foundation, because a little bit like Louis XIV, somebody has to say, we need streetlights, we need mirrors, we need something. And the Manning Foundation said, you know, we need to recognize innovation, and we need to give people awards and reward that kind of thought. So I thank them for that leadership. I thank all the people that were there last night and who joined in applauding the young people who are the future leaders. My goodness, it made me proud to see them. When several people stood up and said they were proud to be Canadian because Canada's a place where you can do anything you want, I thought the part they left out was, I'm really proud because those young people were so brilliant and so energetic and so open to discovery and new ideas. That is the context that the whole world needs to know about, and that's why Canada, if the future is Carleton's future, it's also Canada's future. So thank you to the Manning Foundation as well, and thank you all for being here. It's now my great pleasure to introduce David B. Mitchell. And when I read his biography, I thought to myself, his biography is just exactly the definition of what we need for an innovative person. He was the principal owner of Projects Technologies Limited, was responsible for the areas of accounting, administration, business development, human resources, and risk management. In other words, he invented multitasking. He also has experience in petroleum and power industries, which includes senior positions in marketing, investor relations, administration, and business development. An interdisciplinary person, if I ever heard one. He brings 27 years' experience in the petroleum and power industries that include senior management positions in finance, marketing, investor relations, administration, and business development in companies like TransCanada Pipelines. He's got the wisdom born of experience, what we also need to make sure that innovation follows the right guidelines. He's got a bachelor's degree from the University of Calgary and completed the executive development programs at Cornell. And very recently, he completed a mini MBA program at the University of Calgary. Needs education and the idea of continuing education and continuing inspiration, he personifies this. A skilled executive and communicator, I note that he actually was a governor and president of the Toastmasters Club, so I should shut up and let him talk. You will have a treat. He is also international because the companies that he has led have been working around the world. He somehow manages to be well balanced with a family and a ranch and many, many volunteer positions in the community, including chairing the Calgary Chamber of Commerce and the Campus Calgary Open Minds program run by the Calgary Foundation, which has won 34 awards, including the Worldwide Global Best Award. 50,000 students have gone through this program worldwide. So he is a leader, a mentor, and an inspiring person, and it is very fitting that he chairs this foundation and he comes to speak to us today. Thank you very much.
I want you to be me. That sounded like a great introduction. I didn't know I'd done all those things so well. What a great warm welcome and a great place to be here at Carleton. I wouldn't mind starting with a show of interest. We tried this last year. How many people here were at our gala last night, just by a show of hands? Wow, great crowd. So innovators continue